Hey, David. Stevie's still hiding.
No, I'm there.
No, you're not. That's a recorded mess.
No, that's me. That's the real me there.
Yeah, it sure is.
That's fantastic. You just stay so still.
Yeah. It just reacts to sound, that's all.
Hi,
He's
Kelly.
not there.
I'm not
Hi.
there. Yeah. He's not, I'm trapped. I'm practicing my ventriloquism.
Yeah, sure you
Oh.
are.
That's why you
I'll
can't
bet
see
you
my
got-
mouth.
Yeah, I bet you're wearing some really weird costume just to shock us. So you can do your anxiety and stress thing.
I borrowed your mask.
Yeah, that was a good one. I still
Yeah.
have it here. I thought it was nice. Scared the shit out of some kids yesterday, opening up the door. Parents didn't like it.
Hello to everybody that's joining. I will be there in a minute. Just trying to let everybody in. Hi, Pauline. Hi, Pauline. To both Paulines. Joanna, Anna Marie.
Hello.
Hello. Just trying to admit hello to people. I thought there was only going to get a couple. What happened?
Well, now you got a few couple.
Yeah, I have. What's going on? Everybody okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Good.
Good.
Hey, Cash, how's up?
How's everybody?
Everybody say hello to everybody. Hi, Cash.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Hello.
everybody.
Can you hear
Good
me?
morning.
We can hear you.
We can
Hi,
hear you.
everyone.
Oh, morning. No.
I'm not sure how many is coming. So there's two people. Hang about somewhere in the admit all. Hey,
Many do you think are coming, Stevie?
say what again?
How
Pauline?
many do you think are coming?
I don't know. On the yeses, it was about 20.
Well, I was going to say about 30, wasn't it?
Oh no, is that? I'll have to do the whole act.
Well, you're a popular guy, Stevie.
I'll have to do some comedy and I'll get my guitar out and everything as well. So a bit of a song. And,
Yeah, sure.
that sound good?
Well, there must be a
I'm-
reason you're not visible.
That's a good number of people who's going to feel a lot better in an hour's time.
I
Or
was going to
worse.
scare the shit
Or
out of
worse.
us in a minute first.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, hi, Money.
How you doing?
I'm still admitting
very
people
good.
here.
My mom's coming too.
Oh, you get music as well. I was going to do like a real sort of entrance.
I'm sure you
I
will.
I was going to do the sort of like. Oh, dear, that's as good as it gets, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, that
Just
was
the
it, was it?
entrance. That was it. That was it.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, there's people here I do know. Hi to all the people I do know, old friends. Hello to all the new friends. Hello to people that aren't hypnotherapists, that are just coming to see what's happening. I'm not sure how many. I will keep admitting as I go along. hopefully I won't bore you too much.
Yeah, you will.
I probably, yeah. I'm going to do a little bit of everything and finish up with some hypnosis. I'm going to talk a little bit about anxiety, what it is, a little bit about hypnosis and what we don't know, what it is, and a little bit about myself. And I'm going to finish up with anxiety hypnosis session, basically, which would be a mixture of lots of things, some you know, maybe one or two you don't. So I'm not sure how many more, but I think it's probably a good time to get on. So can everybody hear me okay?
Steve, I can hear you good. Can I just mention that one of mine is going to be logging in a bit later? Is that all right?
That's fine, because the first bit's about a bit of chat.
Okay.
And then we'll do the hypnosis session a little bit later. If she comes obviously in the middle of the hypnosis session, she'll probably, well, you know.
It won't be that late.
Okay, cool. Okay. So just a little bit of just to let you know, if the fire alarms do go off, to actually exit to the left. Your nearest exit, obviously. The ladies' toilets are over on the right-hand side and the men's toilets are over on the left-hand side. Now, I will obviously mute you all during when I'm talking, but obviously if there are any questions, I will do some right at the end. But if you have any questions during it, that's fine too. I'll try and answer everything that I can. So Kesh is looking like he's really, really shocked. And so let's get on. So
It's that Edward Monk picture, you know.
That's what it is. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Stevie P. I'm from, I've got my own practice called The Mind Tutor. I've also got my own academy in North Wales called North Wales Hypnosis Academy. But I've loved doing Freddie's stuff. I must admit, this has got to be one of the best online hypnosis courses and that I've been on in all my time of being a therapist. It's broken down. He's made it really, really simple. You will actually learn how to do hypnosis here, which is amazing. I remember my first academy. I won't mention who it was, but I learned a lot about Freud and a lot about Jung and not a lot about hypnosis. So I did 10 months there. And to be honest, then after that, I learned how to be a hypnotherapist. I niche in anxiety, and anxiety obviously takes in things like PTSD as well, OCD, and there's lots of different types of anxiety. My background, if nobody knows, originally many moons ago, I was an entertainer, so on stage a lot until I retired. And then I retrained as a medic for Welsh Ambulance. So that's the area I'm coming from. But what happened, this is my journey really to hypnosis. What happened when I was as a medic, I was involved in a big accident, hit by a drunk driver at 70 miles an hour. And that put end to my career as a medic for Welsh Ambulance. My own mental health at that time suffered pretty badly, anxiety and depression. Lucky enough, I had friends around me from the service, and one friend was a hypnotherapist. But I retrained at that time and went to work in mental health. So delivering CBT, DBT, mostly for people with anxiety. And what I found working there, I started to get, I don't think jade is the right word, despondent probably was the right word, with delivering things like CBT. And I just thought there had to be a better way. And it took me back to when my friend used hypnosis with me. And I thought that worked really, really quickly. You don't have to do 3 months of talking therapies or 6 months of talking therapies. So that's when I start to go and find out more about hypnosis. And eventually the hypnosis sort of took over. And I was, I still work 19 hours within the NHS, not for the NHS, but not for the NHS, under the guise of working with people with anxiety, doing guided imagery, which is another code name for, yeah, of course, within guided imagery, you can put hypnosis within guided imagery. It works very, very well. And the NHS aren't daft, to be honest. They obviously know that I'm a hypnotherapist and I'm going to be using some of that, but they don't ask. So fine. And the people that I'm working with, I've worked with groups, only about 5 or 6 people. So this is a huge group to me. But about 5 or 6 people at a time, face to face. So I said over the past, I don't know, 8 years since I've been doing hypnosis, I've trained with the Jacquins, amazing. Mike Mundell's is also a very, very good trainer. Carl Smith, which is a different type of training really, but again, very, very good. David Schneider in America, Kaz Riley, sexual freedom practitioner, and also Melissa Tears. So I've had some really, really good mentors within this. And as I said, over the last 4 years, my own business and obviously my own academy, which launches next year. I've not launched it yet, but it'll be launching next year. So anxiety. Let's talk a little bit about anxiety. In my mental health days, and even within hypnosis, one of the things I could never understand was when clients and patients went to the doctor and the doctor said, they described what was going through, and the doctor said, sounds like you've got anxiety. Here's some sertraline. And one of the questions I always asked clients and patients, so did the doctor tell you what anxiety was? And the answer I always get back is no. He just said, I've got anxiety and here's some sertraline, or whatever it was they were giving them at the time. So I always go with clients and patients and just go through the basics with anxiety and just tell them, just break down that belief that they're not going mad or anything like that. The anxiety is a natural reaction. It is a natural, it's a body's way of responding to danger, basically. And all those feelings that they get where the sweating or the heart racing or the breathing, fast breathing, the tingling of the fingers, maybe even wanting to go to the toilet more. It is all part of the natural reaction where adrenaline is rushed into your body to give you that chance, that fight, flight, freeze. It's that give you that chance to get away from whatever that danger is. Now, however clever the brain is, it's also a little bit daft at times, where it locks in things that actually aren't dangerous, but it sees it as a danger, as a trigger, whatever that trigger is. There can be lots of triggers. I used to have I had a guy that was triggered by long straight roads. And when during hypnosis, eventually it came out, it's because he'd taken his cat to the vet. He was on a long straight road and his cat had a mental breakdown and grabbed him by the back of the head as he's driving down this long straight road, and it locked that trigger into his head. Took a while to find. And it wasn't till after we'd done the sessions and his anxiety has gone that he actually came back and said, it just popped into my head. This is where it came from. And the thing is, once you get those triggers locked in, you tend to be in that scanning mode. You've got that little thing, a little almond thing called a amygdala or our amygdala. And it sits there. It sits there every minute of every day, looking for dangers for you, that fight, flight, freeze. I'm going to break it down so it's really, really simple. I'm not going to get into the left and the right. So it sits there. And one of the ways I always find to show people, clients, to keep it nice and simple, I use this. Very, very simple. And basically, this is a representation, obviously, of your amygdala. And it sits there doing this. Is it going to hurt me? Is it going to kill me? Is it going to hurt me? Is it going to kill me? And it's doing that 24 hours a day, sitting there, looking for those dangers to keep you safe and sound. And when it sees something, whether it's just a thought or whether it's a real danger, it fires off and expands and then fires all that adrenaline into your body. And then when it perceives that danger is past, it shrinks back down and goes back into, is it going to hurt me? Is it going to kill me? And it sits there doing that, as I said, all through the day. Sometimes, unfortunately, when it does that and it fires off, this is where you get those things locked in. Because as it comes back down, it's locked. That danger or a perceived danger is locked in there. And because the brain only stores memories in 7 plus or 2 bytes, so they break down your memory into 7 pieces. When it sees something that's similar, when it sees something that's similar to that, it goes, I remember that. I remember that. That was dangerous. And it'll fire off to try and keep you safe. So that's your basics. And one of the reasons that anxiety keep going with people is because what they do is they basically sort of hide away from the anxiety. So that's what, you know, that's what maintains your anxiety. I mean, it could be a single thing that's fired off that initial anxiety. It could be lots of smaller problems that tend to do it. The kind of person you are, it could be that you're within an environment where your mum's got anxiety, your dad's got anxiety, one of your brothers or sisters. So you're more likely to get anxiety when you're in that environment, being in an anxious feel environment anyway. And the reasons it stays with you with anxiety is your behavior. So if you keep avoiding the situation, then what you do is you reinforce that negative thought. Just going to let somebody in. This is associated, your beliefs. So that limiting belief. So if you believe that there's a lion outside your door, the only way you're going to find out if there's a lion outside your door is to open the door. Unfortunately, a lot of people, they say, if I'm going to be, if I go to the supermarket on 5 o'clock on a Friday night, I don't think I'd go to the supermarket at 5 o'clock on a Friday night anyway. But if you do, I'm going to vomit. But they're never going to know whether they're going to vomit unless they go to the supermarket at 5 o'clock on a Friday night. So just to some of the myths around anxiety. One is I'm going crazy. So even though people believe there is a link, there's no link between panic, anxiety, and any more serious psychiatric illness. I'm going to lose control. There's never been a recorded case of anybody or anything going wild or out of control against their wishes when you're anxiety. I'm having a heart attack. Very common one. Although there's lots of symptoms there, but that's just the adrenaline that's pumping into your body. It's giving you those feelings. The anxiety will harm you, is not done. It might be unpleasant and uncomfortable, but it won't harm you. And one of the things that a lot of people say, I'm going to faint. Highly unlikely. The reason being, your heart rate's gone up. You tend to faint when your heart rate drops and that blood pressure goes down with it. That's the time to faint. So there's lots of different types of anxiety, as I said, lots of different types of anxiety or disorders, health anxiety, constantly worrying about serious illness, generalized, which is most of the things you will see. And you'll notice that there's more and more as you, with your practice, you're going to get more and more people since COVID, and with all the power stuff as well that's going on, and worry about how they're going to pay for things. You're going to see more and more anxiety coming to you guys, the ones that are practitioners out there. OCD, they must check rituals type stuff. Panic disorder is another one, obviously. Phobias. I think make sure you go and see Pauline's on Thursday. Pauline, are you doing a phobia on this Thursday? Go and see Pauline's, go and jump into Pauline's. PTSD, those flashbacks, anxiety, anger relating to trauma, and obviously social anxiety. So there's lots of things that will help. And I teach some of these to the clients that I have. Yes, some of them are CBT based, like breathing, 7-11 breathing. You know, it's a nice, easy thing to, one of those things you can give to your clients. Easy to teach them. I also use a phone. Excellent. Not an app, just the phone. You think of a phone, look at the shape of the phone. So when you're breathing, you want a shorter breath in than you want out. So if you use the short side of a phone, as you breathe in, and most people are sat there looking at their phones anyway, wherever you are. So people aren't going to get, look at going, what's he doing with his phone? What are you looking at his phone? So they can use that. And they pull along the side, so you breathe in along the side, down the bottom here. And you pause on the corner, and you breathe out. Pause, breathe in that shorter breath, and breathe out. Nice, simple, one that they can use anywhere. But there's lots of other types of therapies or techniques. I mean, obviously you've got acupuncture, aromatherapy, Reiki, very, very good. Reflexology, and of course hypnosis, which I found is probably one of the best for helping with anxiety. So when we talk about hypnosis, just moving on from anxiety, I just wanted to give you the basics of anxiety. That it can go in a lot deeper than that, but I find if you keep it simple, then it's easier, more easy for people to understand, especially with your clients. Give them that basic talk of what they think anxiety is, or what anxiety is. And then I usually go on and talk about hypnosis. What is hypnosis? How long's a piece of string, really? Anybody know what hypnosis is, or, you know, want to guess at it? You know, if you type in what is hypnosis into Google, there are so many different answers. They could all be wrong, or they could all be right. It's a matter of opinion, really. I'm more of Freddie's line of thinking in Anthony's. I don't need to know everything and in depth about it. I'm more like Freddie, where I know it works, and that's good enough for me. I don't need to know why. I need to know that I've done the best for the client at the end of the day. You know, we go into hypnosis, as you know, every day, where you're watching TV, whether you're driving. We do that every day. You know, do I believe in levels of hypnosis? I don't think I do. I just think there's hypnosis. I don't think there's different levels. I don't think, you know, we do use deeper, and that's fine. But that's more of a, I think, it's a belief, really. But there's lots of techniques you can use there. I usually use, I'm not going to use it today, but I usually use, my go-to is emotional detox for every session. And if you've not seen that, just go and have a quick look on Carl Smith's YouTube. And it's, you know, you won't need to go and do the course because it's all there. It's not hard, but it really, really works. Same with Kinetic Shift. Again, it's there. You know, it's It's two of the things that I usually go to. I never decide before I see a client, even though they're saying they come with anxiety. I never decide what techniques I'm going to use until they're sat in front of me, because I treat the person. It's not treat, but I do hypnosis with the person, and I use the techniques that I think will work better with that person. Okay. You've got lots of quick techniques as well, which you could pass on to clients. EFT tapping. And there's lots, again, have a look on the internet and see how many different versions of this there is. But if you want to keep it simple with your client, just use a just a 6-step one, which is top of the head, eyebrows, side of the eye, under the nose, on your breastbone here. Grab your wrist, take a deep breath in and go, peace. And teach them that nice and easy and quick. Also, you can teach them the gamma 9 point, for those positive things. There's a point just here, sits here. If you sit there tapping it and just do positive affirmations. I was doing this just before I came on to do this presentation. I know my shit. I've got everything working in the right order. This just gives you those positive things. Great for just before an interview or anything like that, any type of presentation. Bilateral stimulation, and that doesn't have to be hard. It could be a ball, it could be. And that's just doing that and following it with your eye. Keep your head still. When they're having that anxiety, teach them that, and that will bring their anxiety down. There's a great one. And if I can change my background just quickly, just to show you references, background effects, this. Can you see this? That's a hand. Okay, every finger on your hand means something else, means something. So this one's for worry, your thumb. That one's for fear, anger, sadness, self-esteem. So somebody with anxiety, just teach them to grab their thumb and grab it tight enough so until they feel a pulse. And when they start to feel that pulse, that's it actually working. If it's gone on to a little bit further and it's a bit fear, then just grab that second finger again till you feel the pulse. If it's gone even further, grab both. Really, really helps with anxiety. Also, the thumb, when you're sitting and lying in bed and your head's going round and round and round and you can't stop not thinking. If you grab your thumb, really good for sleep. Really help you go to sleep. So that's a really, really nice one. I'll just jump back here. So where am I? Here we go. References, just dropping it back. Background. Let's try a different one. How about that one? So other things, jumping numbers. Don't know if anybody's seen Freddie do jumping numbers. Excellent for, have a look. I think he's got a video up doing that. It really, really is good. Very, very simple to do. Spin technique. David Schneider was the first person I seen use this. Great for emotional pain, anxiety, and pain. Does anybody hands up? They know what I'm talking about when I talk about a spin technique. Okay. Anybody got something that when they think about it, or anybody got a pain? There you go. Pretty easy. Anybody got any pain at this moment in time? Yeah. Oh, so many. I'll tell you what. I'm going to unmute. Kesh, just put your thing on now. Just put your mic on, Kesh, so I can just.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's your pain, Kesh?
Across the pelvis at the back.
Across the pelvis at the back.
Yeah.
So, is there any reason you want to keep this pain?
Absolutely none.
Okay. Any reason that is it a long-term pain you've had? Short-term?
It's been severe pain for about 6 months.
Okay. If you close your eyes and think of it now, how much pain? Well, between 0 and 10?
About 6 right now.
6. Okay. And is there a color associated with that? Keep those eyes closed.
Orange.
Orange. Okay, open your eyes. So in a moment, Kesh, all I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, and then we're going to do it. So you're going to point to where that pain is, and what you're going to do, you're going to start to pull that pain out. Okay, pull that orange out, and I want you to keep pulling it until you've got all of it out. And then I want you to hold it in front of you like this. Okay. And then I'm going to ask you a series of questions from there. I'm going to ask you if it's spinning a certain way. I'm going to get you to turn it so it's spinning in an opposite direction. I'm going to get you to speed it up faster and faster. Okay. Okay, then. So, okay. So close your eyes again. Look at that pain. And it's a 6. Yes. Still orange.
Yeah.
Okay. What I want you to do, Kesh, I want you to start pulling that pain out, pulling that orange out. Keep pulling it out. Make sure you get it all, because that shit hides. So make sure you get all of it. Okay. Keep pulling it out. And only when you know you've got all of it, only when you know you got all of it, then you can hold it out in front of you. But until that time, just keep pulling that pain out. Pull that orange, get all of it, Kesh. Take your time. No rush. Pull all of that orange out of your back. And when you know you've got all of that orange, just hold it out in front of you. Fantastic. Now, first impression, color the same or has it changed?
It's the same.
It's the same, okay? And which way is it spinning? Focus on it. Okay, what I want you to do is grab it by the edges, and I want you to turn it in midair so it's spinning in totally opposite direction. Okay? And I know what I want you to do is start to speed that up. Faster. Keep spinning it faster and faster in that opposite direction. Faster and faster and faster. Keep spinning, keep spinning, keep spinning, keep spinning. And when you know it can't go back to the way it used to be, when you know it's got a mind of its own, it's spinning on its own, just grab hold of it and slam it back into where you took it out from. Take a deep breath in. Notice the change.
Yeah.
Score?
Maybe about a 2.
There you go. Thanks, Kesh, for letting me
Thank
do that.
you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
You're welcome. So that can be used for bad thoughts, bad emotion, and also anxiety. You can use that for the same thing. There's a new one that I've seen recently called Blink EMDR. And I don't know if anybody's seen that one. It's it's really a bit bizarre because you're actually tapping your lap and you're asking certain questions. And when certain questions come up, you get them to blink 3 times. If anybody wants to know how to do this, I can do a separate session on that. One of my favorites is Mood Changer. And some of you might have seen a video I put up about this, which is basically making you laugh, really. And you count. So you count ha, then you go ha ha, then you go ha ha ha, then you go ha 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 ha, then you go ha 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 ha, then ha 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 ha, and you count, and you're going to be ending up laughing. It's just a wonderful little thing you can use for yourself easily. And of course, there's the old NLP with the TV, turning the TV up, pushing the TV back. There's lots of different ones. And does anybody work with kids here? Not sure. Great. One of the best ones, one of the great little ones, Freddie uses this. He calls it the Freddie goodie bag. But this has been around for years. Clowns used to use it in children's hospitals. And it's basically, anybody remember that old trick where you get a bag and you throw something in the air and then you click your fingers so it feels like something's dropped into the bag? That's the idea behind the goodie bag for kids is that you get them to pull out. Again, you're saying, what color is that? Pull it all out. Give me that paint. Go and pull it all out and give it to me. And you take it in your hand. You say, watch this. I'm going to throw it into the air. You catch it in the bag, screw the bag up, throw it away. Kids have got a wonderful imagination. You don't need to hypnotize them. Works really, really well. So, are we ready to do some hypnosis? Yeah. I'm not sure if everybody here has been hypnotized. Anybody that hasn't been hypnotized here? Yeah, right, Marcel. All you need to do, if you haven't been hypnotized, hypnosis is a very natural thing. And just if you listen to my voice, will always go with you. 3 myths, if there is people here that have never been in hypnosis, 3 myths just to get rid of straight away, really, is you're never going to get stuck in hypnosis. You're never going to give any of your secrets away, so you can't give me your PIN number. Yeah, what you need to do is just enjoy the feeling. It's a perfectly natural feeling. You know, don't try to go into hypnosis, just let it happen. And if you're finding it difficult, just pretend. Pretend you're going into hypnosis. And then after a while, pretend you're not pretending anymore. Works well too. So I'm going to do something I put together, especially for tonight. Some of the things you'll recognize. And I'm going to do it like I would do it with a client. So here goes. So let me begin by saying, when we had done this work, I expect you to be completely free of any irrational fear and anxiety. I know you've lived with this for a while and done your best to cope consciously, but we're going to work with your unconscious mind. And I appreciate you coming today, which some of you might think of a bit of a strange problem. Let me tell you, it's a perfectly natural thing. Everybody in the world at one stage will have anxiety, bar none. And then 4 out of 10 people then have that GAD, generalized anxiety disorder, 4 out of 10. So it's a natural thing to have. It's keeping you safe. And today I'm going to explain exactly how that works, which I've already done with you. Just to let you know, you only have 2 fears when you're born. One is loud noises, and the other is falling, which is when you see them do this, and they're looking for that reaction when the baby's just born. And we can learn those anxieties through lots of different ways. We can learn it by repeating things over and over, or it can be an instant thing, a kind of one trial type of learning. And what happens is your brain then takes a snapshot of that thing and it registers whatever that one thing was as a threat. And forevermore, your brain's going to scan for that threat. And when it sees it, it's going to give you that fight flight. Very, very simple. Primitive response comes from your monkey lizard brain. It's like we've created that part, or a part of us that runs a protective mechanism. In a moment, I'm going to hypnotize you and I'm going to speak to that part and it will communicate. I know that sounds strange, but it will communicate. And when you're hypnotized, you may, or you will, experience those automatic responses. It may be your eyes flickering to indicate yes, maybe your head nods or a finger twitches all by itself, some muscle twitches, or it might just be a feeling that you get. You may notice this happening. So just to be clear, I'm not asking you to wave at me. This would be an automatic, non-conscious response. Sometimes it's something you'll be aware of, other times, maybe not. Of course, if I ever ask you to nod or speak, you'll be able to do that. My voice will always go with you. And I'm going to ask that part that runs this protective mechanism, take control of this response. And I'm going to ask it what it's trying to be doing for you. And if I had to guess, mostly it's usually to protect from an imagined threat, but I don't know. You may not even be aware of what it is doing. And I'll ask to find some other way of doing that to allow you the freedom from any irrational fear and anxiety. When it has done that, to let me know. Along the way, I'm going to ask you to imagine some things. And you don't need any special imagination to do this. Some people see just colors. Some people just get a feeling. Some can see it in full video, 180, whatever that is. If I ask you to imagine something, just engage your imagination exactly as you would if I asked you to think of a front door or a loved one's face. You'll hear my voice, as I said, all the way throughout, but there may be times when you realize you've stopped listening. That's fine, because you're drifting away in your own thoughts and listen to your own inner voice. That's fine too. So, are you ready to go into hypnosis? I'm going to use an induction, which I always use for online, and that's called the Swan. There will be some PMR alongside of that as well. So all I'm going to ask you to do, whether you've been in hypnosis, whether you know not been in hypnosis before, is just to follow what I do. All I want you to do is to just lift your hand up like this and just drop your hand forward like that. That's fantastic. And what I want you to do is just pick a spot on the back of your hand and just to focus on that spot. Are we all comfortable? Get yourself comfortable. Just pick a spot on the back of that hand. Could be a line. Could be a line within a line. Just keep focused on that spot. Keep focused, keep focused, keep focused. That's right. And as you focus on that line or that spot, I'm not going to be rude, but I'm not going to talk to your conscious mind at all now. I just want to talk to your unconscious mind, because your unconscious mind is listening all the time. It's been listening to me all the way through this. And I'd like to ask your unconscious mind to set up some line of communication with me. And that could be finger twitching on your hand, or eyes flickering, hand moving, just a feeling. And I'd like to ask that powerful, powerful unconscious mind just to give me that signal now so I know that it's listening. That's right. Finger twitching, hand moving, eyes flickering. That's right. And as that unconscious mind is set up with that line of communication, I'd like to ask the unconscious mind to, that powerful unconscious mind, just to take full control of that hand. Just to take full control of that hand and arm. And when it's got full control of that hand and arm, just to give me that signal so I know that it's got full control. Thank you. Again, hand moving, finger moving. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I'd like to ask that powerful unconscious mind of yours, now it's got full control of that hand, just to start slowly, little by little, just to start to turn that hand towards your face now. Little by little, bit by bit. That's right, hand turning. That's right. More and more, bit by bit, little by little, just turning that hand towards your face. Amazing. And as that hand turns towards your face, when you're ready, And only when you're ready, just allow your eyes to close now. That's right. Every breath you take and every word I say, you can continue to relax now. You're doing wonderfully. Just see this as a timeout. With your eyes closed, you'll find you can become more aware of some things than before. So you can hear the sound of my voice. You may be aware of other sounds, even sounds of the room or outside the room at times. These won't disturb you. In fact, they will just take you even deeper into your hypnosis now. You may notice the feeling of the chair and even your breathing quite at ease. And as you begin this process of turning your attention around, because as you relax, you find you become more and more aware of some things that might go overlooked and would be ignored. So as you sit there listening to me, you can notice the colors in your mind's eye, that inner space of awareness. You become aware of thoughts and ideas that drift through your mind. Even your own inner voice wondering, this wondering that is going to continue to relax that understanding. I know that you have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. What you might call the back of the mind. And your unconscious mind can continue to hear and understand and respond without the need for you to do anything as you go deeper and deeper down now. So trust your unconscious mind. As it drifts up towards the surface of awareness, drifting down deeper and deeper and deeper at times. That's right. And everything I say now is your reality. Every suggestion I give you, your mind and body will act upon without hesitation. It's now your reality. For a while, you'll see what I say you can see, hear what I say you can hear, feel what I say you can feel, and believe what I say you believe. That's right, deeper and deeper down. And as you continue to relax and drift in your thoughts, that's right, notice your breathing even more at ease now, deeper and deeper with each breath. Perfectly safe, perfectly fine. You can use your unconscious mind as a powerful resource you can learn from. Really have an experience, one that's satisfactory to you. So I'd like your unconscious mind to search through all the things in your life and find the one thing that is vital and utmost importance to your life, freedom, and your future. When it's made that choice, I would like it to allow that yes signal to occur so that I understand. That's right, finger twitching, hand moving, eyes flickering. One thing that's of vital and utmost importance to your life, your freedom, your future. And when the unconscious mind has made that choice, I'd like to ask the unconscious mind, to identify that part that runs that protective mechanism. When it is done so, I'd like that signal to occur. That's right, finger twitching, eyes flickering, hand moving. Maybe just a feeling in your hand. Just imagine that happening now. Now, I would like your unconscious to hand over the signal to the part of you that runs that habit. And when that part has taken full control, again, I'd like that signal to occur. Honest, unconscious signals. That's right. hand moving, finger twitching, head nodding. That's right. And I'd like to ask that part to let you know what it's been trying to do for you, what its positive intention has been. And again, when it's done that, I'd like that signal to occur. That's right. Thank you. I'd like to thank the part for helping us today. And I'd like to ask that part to use the creative part of the mind to find new behaviors that satisfy that positive intention. Work with the creative mind. Work with the creative part of the mind that has ideas, find solutions, and for it to generate as many alternative behaviors that will better satisfy or honor the positive intention that has nothing to do with the unwanted anxiety behavior. I'd like to ask that part to use those creative resources and identify as many other ways of satisfying that intention, other ways to keep you safe, well, and protective, while allowing the freedom from any irrational fear or anxiety. And each time it finds a new choice, I would like that signal to occur. That's right. Hand twitching, finger moving, eyes flickering. And I'd like to ask that part just to lower that arm down into a nice, comfortable position, but to carry on just making those choices. But let that arm just drift down, taking you even deeper into hypnosis as it drifts down deeper and deeper into a nice, comfortable position for you. That's right. Let it drift all the way down into a comfortable position, taking you even deeper into your hypnosis now. That's right. And I'd like you to just to use that powerful imagination of yours. And I want you to imagine you're standing in a clearing of a mystical, magical forest. However you see that is entirely up to you, but surrounded by trees and warmth and safety, perfectly safe and perfectly fine. And take your time to build the surroundings that you see as you relax even more. Now I'd like you to imagine, just imagine that you walk. And as you walk forward, you notice you're on a sandy path. Just imagine as you continue on and enjoy the sensation of pleasant and effortless walking into a trance, walking in your unconscious mind with all the wonder and all the safety that is yours while you are here. And my voice will go with you. You are never alone here. And as you walk along the smooth, sandy path, it's easily to notice that the path gradually goes down, 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 as you go deeper and deeper into trance. And without effort of any kind, you're drawn downwards towards the beach. And so you continue. The path gets a little steeper, but it's still easy to go deeper as the path winds back and forth, get closer and closer to the beach and the transparent lagoon below. Just notice with that powerful imagination something as you see the lagoon below. Something quite wonderful. Notice a beautiful and ancient sailing ship with 2 masts. And the sails are bundled up on the mast, wound up tightly in the cables and ropes. And as your foot touches the band and touches that beach, you relax even deeper. Notice how calm the water is in the lagoon, and how the lagoon is sealed off from the ocean by a coral reef way out there, where the ocean roars and is turbulent beyond the lagoon with massive waves and breakers. As you look back at the ship, you notice it appears to be dark green. But there are places on the ship that are damaged by life's waves, scraped by the storms and rocks that have shipwrecked others. And as you approach the ship, take in the scrapes on the hull, the damaged timbers that have marred the beauty of the ship. And you notice that the ship is deserted. You walk to the bow. You may be a little surprised to see the ship is named after you. And this knowledge and all the learnings are enough to raise your confidence and encourage you to explore this ship. And as you walk around the ship, fully aware of its faults and its flaws and failures on all the journeys through the oceans of life, you feel a sense of confidence that the ship named after you will be restored again to a greater glory and will sail again and again, stronger, happier. And you need to get on board. So you search and find a way on board. Your ship might be a rope ladder hanging over a side or even a secret doorway, but you find it, climb aboard up onto the deck, which is quiet and deserted. And on top of an old barrel, you notice a lantern. You manage to light it. Picking up the lantern, I want you to begin to explore the deck of the ship. And as in your imagination, your unconscious, you walk the deck of the ship, you find two items of interest: a brass bell hanging from a chain and a sturdy cabin door, which compels you to open it. And inside you find a tidy cabin. And among the items on the desk is a large, thick, leather-bound logbook with your name embossed in ancient gold letters on the cover. And as you flip through the book's pages, you realize that all of your life on the journeys of the ship that bears your name, all of the events of the past are here, along with the dates. And even the events of your future are written here, although the future events are indistinct and a little foggy. But you feel comfort because you have many, many years ahead of you. And many surprising and wonderful experiences await you in your future. Shutting the book, you go back out onto the deck. Just look over the lagoon. And over the lagoon and that calm, peaceful water, as you breathe the sea air, it invigorates you, refreshes you, begins to prepare you for a new vitality. But as you look up at the tightly wound sails and down at the cracked and scraped timbers of the ship, you may wonder how you can ever restore the ship that bears your name. You think of exploring further in search of some answers. Taking that lantern with you, continue to walk the deck of that beautiful but damaged ship with its dark green hull and its tightly wound sails. And you arrive back at that mysterious brass bell. On a chain that hangs before you. And at a deep level, you can remember you've been here before in another dream or trance, or somewhere similar. Through this realization, you know that you've learned that bell will bring you exactly the help and ultimately the rest you need. And so you reach up and ring the bell once. Clear note that resonates and resounds along the beach, out into the ocean, through the surrounding hills. And when the tone ceases, you hear a clear answering note, another bell from a distant village. The note rings with hope, and so you wait. And after a while, along the beach, you can see a line of lanterns of dozens of people from a town answer your call for assistance. And as they begin to arrive on the beach below the deck of the ship, you notice two things of interest. The people from the town have bought building materials, lumber, nails, paint, tools. And even more interesting is the fact that you notice that all of these people, male, female, young and old, tall and short, they all resemble you in some way. As though they're close relatives, relatives you've never met before. And they begin to repair and restore all the wear and tear in that ship that has accumulated in the oceans of life. And you realize they're capable of completing that task. You feel a sense of comfort and warm tiredness. So you leave them to their work and head back in the cabin, lie down in the hammock, and drift into a deep restoring sleep. That's right, just drift away. Let your helpers repair and restore the ship for you. So as you rest there, safety and comfort, and as your helpers restore the ship, you feel yourself getting stronger, more emotionally stable. And as you rest there in a hammock, again, just use your imagination and imagine, however you imagine, this is fine. You drift up out of that hammock, through the ceiling of the cabin, through the deck, past the sails, going all the way up, feeling perfectly safe, but go all the way up above it all, completely free of earthly ties. Somewhere down below you, you can see a target, like an archery target with a different colored bands. And I'd like you to imagine in the center of that target is a bullseye itself. And in the bullseye of itself, the anxiety, the pain or fear that you were experiencing. Imagine it's all okay. I'm going to make this sound. When I do, you'll be shot like an arrow directly through the center of that target. But be brave. Be brave about it, because you'll feel a twinge of that discomfort even more intensely for a split second before you drift through the bullseye and burst through into a space of complete freedom from that. Again, be brave about it, because it's the last time this will ever affect you. Get ready as I make the sound. Through the other side of a place of complete bliss. And in this place, I want you to see the faces of the people who are dearest to you on the planet. There's more than one. See more than one. I only want you to enjoy it. So I want you to see their eyes, see them smiling at you, hear their voices, hear them laughing as you feel for them what they feel for you. Let this fill you up. Now imagine all of that love, joy, and happiness flooding through your body now. That's right. I want you to imagine that you're now sitting on the other side of that cabin. You can see yourself lying in that hammock. You see yourself lying there. See the color of your top. See your hair as you lie in the hammock. And notice from the other side of the room, you're completely free of any unnecessary anxiety and fear. And I want you to take your time, and I want you to slowly drift from the other side of the room back over into your body, as the unconscious makes the changes at a cellular level, at a psychological level that will allow that anxiety and fear to be gone forever. That's right, take your time. Do it thoroughly, because your body just wants to communicate. And sometimes things happen and there's a response, and that response becomes automatic. Something happens, we imagine something and we respond. That response becomes automatic, especially when it's something emotional. We can overlook the fact that it's just your imagination, but now you remember it was just your imagination that we created and created this response that became automatic. You can stop imagining any time you want. Imagine something else entirely. So I want you to imagine in the coming days, cannot feel or see that useless, unnecessary anxiety or fear, taking comfort from the fact there's nothing you know consciously about how to do that, but you can trust your unconscious, a bit like it knows if you were to cut your finger in the kitchen, put a plaster on it, you'd expect it to heal. It has a blueprint, it knows what to do. And as you rest there in that hammock, and as the repairs go onto that ship, you can feel yourself getting stronger and stronger. And as you rise from that hammock, leave the cabin, notice the changes in the ship. You see that every plank has been repaired. All the scrapes, the storm damage completely fixed, and a fresh coat of green paint completes the restoration. The restoration of the ship that bears your name. And as you look out onto the beach, you see the lanterns receding. Townsfolk head back to their homes. The last one of them in the line turns, smiles and waves at you. Points to the cells above, and you see that the cells are beautifully unwound. Open fully as the dawn approaches. And as you climb back onto the beach, by the same way you came up, as you look at the name on the ship's bow, you can see the name plaque is polished and shining, and the repairs and restoration are complete. And as you watch that ship, as the wind catches the sails, and watch it slowly rolling out to sea, the ship remains steady, secure, calmly, stable and safe, in full control of the turbulent ocean of life, relaxed and confident, restored and strengthened, and finding safe passage and the new possibilities that dawn as that ship sails calmly to the east. And as that scene starts to fade, again, I would like to talk to the part that has been finding all those new choices. I'd like to ask that part to look at the new choices and identify the one it believes to be the best, the one that will set you free. When it has made that choice, select a signal to occur, whether that's head nodding, fingers moving. That's right. This is your opportunity to let go of any negative thoughts, limiting beliefs about this. I know you can be free of this, and that deep down, that part knows it too. So I want to thank that part for making that new choice. And I'd like every other part of you to go ahead and make any adjustments necessary to accommodate this new choice seamlessly, perfectly into your life. And I want you to go ahead and make those changes throughout the entire system now, because that part of you that's responsible for the communication between cells of your body and the expression of your mind knows what to do. And I want to thank that part for taking on that new choice. And I want you to go out into the little fantasy and imagine yourself leaving this session today, feeling a great weight lifted, like something is shifted without quite knowing what or why. Get that sense of yourself in the coming days. And I think you're going to enjoy being unable to remember to think about that anxiety or fear in the same way at all. It will never bother you again. So take these last few moments just to put down any other baggage you might have been carrying around. Reorganizing, recognizing. And there you can see thoughts coming and going. You can see feelings coming and going. Something that's not coming and going, it's just watching. And it can watch this anxiety and fear for you. It can heal this for you because your body and unconscious mind knows what to do. Again, at the end of this session, getting on with your day or your evening, somewhere deep inside, knowing, a growing sense everything's going to be okay. Go further still. Imagine it's a month from now and your unnecessary anxiety and fear is gone completely. It's always a reminder of just how powerful your creative imagination is. Again, I'd like to thank that part and the unconscious mind for helping us today. And in a moment, not yet, but in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And when I reach the number 5, you emerge from this state only at a rate of speed you feel 100%, 1,000%, 1,000,000% better than ever before. And you know that for as long as your heart continues to beat, for as long as you continue to breathe and your blood continues to move through your veins, you're only going to get better. 1, feel yourself returning to this place we call reality, bringing with you a brand new reality. A reality where your body is on a perpetual slide towards ever increasing health, wealth, and abundance. Everything in your life is lining up, reorganizing, changing perspectives to allow you to have a level of enjoyment, wealth, and health and success that you've always wanted. The ability to express yourself clearly, powerfully, assertively, confidently, and most importantly, certainly expressing your way in the most diplomatic and effective way that gets your feelings out and your point across in a way that's the most efficient and effective for the situation. Number 2, all of my suggestions from me to you, from you to your own powerful unconscious mind are now 10 times more powerful, 10 times more permanent than ever before, and they only get better. 3, always at least 3 ways to overcome any situation, obstacle, or circumstance. Always at least 3 solutions to any problem you need to solve. And your other than conscious mind will easily, effortlessly, and automatically find those 3 solutions in the quickest, easiest, most effective way for the good of yourself and all concerned. 4, because it's all for you. You've made the investment. You've done the work. You've done the drills. You own the skills, and life only gets better. And it's true for you now. And on the next count, you can emerge from this state only a rate and speed that you fully embody and actualize all of those skills, knowledge, abilities that you've acquired so far in a way that will only get better over time. Feeling amazing in body and mind, feeling alive on number 5. Take your time. Welcome back, everybody. Did you enjoy? Quite a long one, that. But,
Thanks.
so turn your mics on if you want to turn your mics on, or if you want to ask anything, any questions, or just to say hi.
That was amazing, Steve. That was great.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, really.
Good, good.
That's great.
How did you know where my ship was?
What did you say? Oh, shit. Okay.
How did you know where my ship was?
There it was. But that's it's like all I've done is adapted. It was not mine. It's not my. It's not mine. It was just something that it was came from Mike Mandel, I think, originally, and just adapted it, the story a little bit, so you could put in things like, you know, the arrow could slip in there. You could have actually, if you were gone through the book, you could have actually come to the page where the first time that anxiety started, and you could have actually gone into that page. I didn't do it because I was very conscious of time. But you could have gone into that page and done the timeline at that point if you wanted. It's just a nice adaptive story that you can use. And it's the same in any story. You can adapt any story as you're going through and think, oh, actually, that would fit quite nicely in there. That's all I've done. As I said, it's Freddie's. There's a little bit of Carl. There's a little bit of Mike.
Yeah. You
And the best
combined it very
advice,
well.
yeah, well, the best advice I can give to all of you, whether you're new, whether you've been doing it for years, is steal everything.
Well, you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
No, there's nothing new in hypnosis. Trust me. Everything that comes out, this new wonderful technique, is actually something that's been revamped, I would say, from something else. I've not seen anything really new in years, to be honest. So I would say, take everything, learn it, then you'll find you'll actually make it your own anyway. You'll adapt it. You'll look back and you'll go back to, and you look back to when you first done it and go, I don't do anything like that now, but I'm still using that technique. Because you're delivering it the way you deliver it. Take everything and you'll make up your own
recipe.
Your own recipe, really, yeah. And stuff that you'll use time and time and time again. Other stuff that you might not use for ages. And all of a sudden you're with a client and you go, do you know what would work really, really well here? This. So I hope everybody's got something out of it. If you have any questions, just fire them off at me, either message me directly. If there's anything you want to go through, I think most people here know that I'm pretty open to hooking up and going through anything that you want to hook up and go through. If anybody wants to try a mental detox, I will do that with you as well. I don't like to do it in groups because obviously there's with when you're detoxing, sometimes you can get I'm not going to call it an aberration. I don't think abnormal. It's just a reaction. As far as it's just a natural reaction.
It comes from your abdomen.
It's you're releasing your emotions. You know, you're going to have a reaction. So, but yeah, anything you need. If you've got any questions about certain techniques, I've got, you know, I can go through them with you. That's no problem. And you know, I'm going to do the same to you, by the way. You know, if anybody's got any things when I'm watching other people, I am going to be hassling you for anything that you've got, and use your experience as well. The one thing I've learned about being in Freddie's and Anthony's groups is that you learn from everybody, not just the people that have been doing it for years. You also learn from people that are just started. They ask questions that you don't think about. And if they ask this question, you go, wow, I wish I'd asked that question 10 years ago. But they ask it and you learn from that. And I've learned so much, not just from seasoned hypnotherapists, people that are just starting. I've learned from everybody on this. And I'd like to, you know, say this is probably one of the best courses especially the way it's done, the way it's delivered, and the way they've broken it down to make it easy for people to understand. And everybody that's here will be able to do hypnosis without a doubt by the end of this course. You know, I remember my first course. That was a 12 months wasted. You know, I came out the end of it and I thought, well, I still don't know how to do hypnosis.
Is that the same one that I did, Stevie?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, total waste of
Starts
time.
with an M and ends with a P.
Yeah, it was scriptnosis more than hypnosis, and it wasn't, you know, I got no problem with people using scripts, not at all. You know, if there are times and places to use them, but they're also, you know,
The side wheels.
yeah, I mean, everybody uses a script, trust me. If you listen to Freddie and he's talking, you're going to get a lot of the same, because he's been doing it such a long time. That's become his script. Okay, he hasn't got it on a piece of paper in front of him, but it is still a
Well, we
script.
call it routine.
Yeah, I love Freddie. He's one of the most amazing people I sort of met in this line of work, you know,
Sure.
and such a giving and loving bloke. Anyway, guys, I will put
Thank you
up
very
a-
much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm at work on my lunch, so I have to go back. Thank you.
That was a long lunch. I'm
Yeah.
gonna come and work where you are.
Have a nice day.
And
You
you.
too.
Um,
Bye, Kelly.
Thanks very much.
Bye-bye. No
See you
problem.
guys.
I am going to put a link up for if anybody wants to do a review on Google or something like that for me. That'd be fantastic, because they all help, and obviously that'll be reciprocated in the future with any of the other guys that need that. Okay,
Of course.
I'm going to go and have a pint now, because I've got no clients in tomorrow.
One?
Stevie, that
So
was
I-
absolutely amazing, and thanks for the pain relief as well.
How's it doing? You can just do that yourself from now. Just do it. Use it yourself, Coach.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
my group session is going to be on pain. Guess what I'm going to steal?
Go for it.
When are you gonna have your set? Yes.
Don't know yet. Have to write it, have to plan it.
Well,
Got to be soon though, hasn't it?
Saturday.
Oh,
Hey?
you got a month.
Before next week, Saturday.
No, you got another 2 weeks after that, because the actual, what is it? The
Oh, the award ceremony.
war ceremony is not from 2 weeks after that, is it, or a week after that?
Oh, that's right.
One
Yeah.
week, only 1 week.
One.
Oh, is it 1 week? Oh wow.
Don't know. It'll be when it'll be.
Just
But,
remember, a group is anybody over two. There's two
That's right.
people.
Here's
And
all.
Can I count myself?
you can count yourself in that. Yeah.
Well, I have to do mine as well, Cass, so,
Okay, well,
Put it up
if
and
there's a
message me.
clash, then yeah, I'm all in for supporting everybody else.
Yeah,
I've got an
same
awful lot
here.
of support from everybody here. So yeah, what goes round comes round, eh?
That's what it is.
well,
Guys, you,
Yeah.
Cass, look at Damien's on Friday, because he's gonna do it on pain as well.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
that's
So
it.
obviously, I will go last and steal all the pain sessions.
Way to go.
Thanks very
Okay.
much, Stevie.
Thank you.
Nice to see you, Paulie.
Okay,
Thank
Stevie,
you.
Look
enjoy
after
your
yourself,
Bye.
guys.
See you later,
That was
guys. Thank you.
amazing. Bye.
good night.
Bye.
Thanks a lot,
Bye.
everyone. Cheerio. Bye.
Ta-ra.
That's great, Steve. Cheers.
You're welcome. See you later, Kes. We'll have to
Really
hook up soon, mate.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. What are you busy tomorrow?
No, I'm around. I think we're around daytime as well tomorrow. If you need to do that, that'd be fine.
Yeah, because there was something that I thought of yesterday, and I thought I know who to go to. It's Stevie. But obviously, I knew you might be preparing and stuff for this, and that's why I didn't want to annoy you yesterday.
Yeah, just message me as long as it's not too early.
No.
All right.
That's great. Yeah. All
Look
right.
after
Thanks a
yourself.
lot. Yeah, and you, mate.
See you
All
later.
right, Chris.
See you later, guys. See you later,
Yeah.
Chris.
See you. Bye.
See ya. Ta-da.